Richard, how you doing? We're going to start. You could sit down.
So you can stand
Then
up
you're going to
for
stand
the,
up.
Pledge.
I got a new hip. Stand up. Make him sit down, stand up. He's already did physical therapy tonight.
It's good for him. All right, this meeting has been called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting was included in the annual notice of meeting sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times. And in addition, a copy of the notice was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and filed in the office of the municipal clerk, where it remains continuously posted as required under state statute. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Here and celebrating a gold medal victory for the U.S. men's hockey team.
I want to talk about your Rangers coach.
Mayor Summers.
I'm here as well.
Let the record show.
Can I get a motion that the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting held on January 6th be dispensed with and that they stand as recorded?
So moved.
Second, sorry. Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stickle?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. The consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certificate of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Number one, appointing, all right, can I get this right? Marithala Alexiades? Marthala? That's a tough one. She's very nice, I met her. To the Shade Tree Commission as a regular member to serve an unexpired term that was held by Jeannie Bowles that expires on 12/31/28. Authorizing a window contract award to Flock Safety for the solar video cameras at the Cultural Center, Griffin Park, and the Bathing Pavilion. Authorizing the Monmouth County Mosquito Commission Division to conduct aerial mosquito control operations within the Borough of Monmouth Beach. Number 4, Centennial Proclamation commemorating the 100th anniversary of the American Shore and Beach Preservation Association. Number 5, authorizing the purchase of a 2021 Polaris Ranger 500 from the Borough of Highlands. Number 6, appropriation reserve transfers. And number 7, NJ PAC Real support for the county lawsuit. And can I get a motion that consent agenda items be passed and adopted?
So moved.
Second. Yes.
Commissioner Stickle?
Yes.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the bills totaling $550,645.73 be approved for payment?
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stickle?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
We have an ordinance to amend Chapter 30 Land Use and Development Regulations, Article 30-10, Affordable Housing of the Borough Code to include a new section 30-10.26, Walkside Drive Affordable Housing Overlay Zone. This is being read by title only. It will be heard at a special meeting on March 10th.
Can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed on title only and that the clerk be instructed to advertise the ordinance for a public hearing to be held on March 10th at a meeting beginning at 9 a.m.?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stickle?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
We have affordable housing ordinances implementing the fourth round housing plan element and fair share plan. This is being read by title only. There will be a public hearing at a special meeting on March 10th.
Can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed on title only and that the clerk be instructed to advertise the ordinance for a public hearing to be held on March 10th at a special meeting beginning at 9 a.m.?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stickle?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes.
We have an ordinance to fix the salaries and terms of office in such cases where the terms of office are not fixed by statute of the officers and employees of the Borough of Monmouth Beach, and to define their duties in addition to those fixed by statute or other ordinance adopted the 27th day of March 1951 as subsequently amended. This is a public hearing. There are copies of this ordinance in the rear of the room.
Can I get a motion that the hearing on the ordinance be open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichels?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. This ordinance covers the salary increases for the year 2025, or 2026 rather, for all borough employees. Are there any questions from the public? Anyone else in the audience? Any questions? Fantastic. Seeing none, can I get a motion that the hearing be closed?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichels?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. And can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed and adopted after this second reading and public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Stichels?
Yes.
Mayor Summers?
Yes. All right, we'll move on to reports. Anthony, Administrator's Report.
I'd like to thank Julie publicly for helping us get our beach raking permit through the DEP. We got it through on the last hour and a half of the possibility, according to Julie, right? The last day? On 120th day, after they asked us 700 questions about grain size and every other thing, and what it costs to put a bathroom in and what toilet paper costs. But we got it through, and I'd like to thank Julie because she had the right temperament to deal with them. I sometimes don't. But that's all. Thank you.
On that note, I did see some of the stuff that they had questioned you on, and you sent me a few of the questions, and I get the aggravation. So they kept moving the goalposts. That's not necessarily a good thing.
Well, they asked a question and I answered it, and then they changed the question and asked
Yeah.
another set of questions. That's not fair. And that's what aggravates me. Ask me what you want to know. Don't hint around it. Just ask me.
Right.
So we took care of it. But Julie was very instrumental in getting that through.
Well, thank you both. Appreciate it. Bruce, do you have anything for us tonight?
I have no report. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie, the engineer's report? Microphone.
Speak loud.
Yes, sir. So I don't have much of a report. Things are status quo and frozen over, but per Commissioner Stickles' request last month, do you have the rendering? I did. Yep. Next month we're gonna have a rendering. Yes, so no, I don't.
You're good? Fantastic. All right, moving on to the Chief of Police.
So far, year-to-date, our calls for service are pretty much flat from last year, but our motor vehicle stops are up 45%, our DWIs are up 50%, our parking violations are up 20%, our warrant arrests are up about 200%. Same amount of calls, but guys are doing more enforcement activity, which is nice. Our disorderlies are down five last year, 0 this year. Harassments went up by 1 call. Suspicious person investigations went up 8 calls so far year-to-date. So the guys are out there looking for more stuff this year than they have in the past, and despite the weather, they're looking to make sure everyone's being safe out there. And please, no more snow.
One more week. It's gonna snow. One more.
Thank you, Chief. Anybody have any questions for the Chief on that? It's a pretty nice report you have. Richard, can you step up to the mic so we can hear you, Richard? All right, then talk very loud, Richard.
Thank you for the code red announcements regarding the snow removal. I just want to clarify that if there is a car impeding the plowing, you would summons that car, right?
Yes, we see when we summons them. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so far this year we've written over 30 tickets for that.
Okay, not to be disrespectful, but will you summons plows of residents hired by the residents who are dumping snow into the street after the street is plowed by Department of Public
If we
Works?
catch them doing it, yes, we do. We will if we catch them doing it. If we don't catch them doing it, we will call the company, try to get them to fix it. But it's a disorderly person's offense, has to be done in our presence to do it.
So if you have a picture of that plow doing that malicious work
It has to be done in our presence for a disorderly
in your
offense.
presence. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you, Richard. Chief, thank you for your report. All right, we're going to move on to Joe Churchillo, our Department of Public Works
Good evening. I have no report.
Director.
Thank you.
You have no report.
No report.
I'm going to let Commissioner Stickle say what he needs to say because it's important. This falls under him. Go ahead, Dave.
So, first of all, Joe, you guys did a great job. Thank you very much again. And I don't know, did you pay the groundhog off? That damn groundhog has caused nothing but problems this year for us. But thanks again for everything you guys do. Your department's done a great job. They were out there again today trying to widen the streets a little bit, clean things up a little more. And I hope you guys all get some sleep before the next one. Monday or Tuesday. Thanks again, Joe. Great job.
So I'd like to echo that, what Dave said. I know that it was a rough 36 hours for everybody in town, but it was even more so for the guys that were behind the wheels of our plow trucks. They were going 24 hours because I know that because I was in the firehouse along with 7 other firefighters that spent 24 hours in the firehouse next door. And I was up a good part of the night watching out the window, and they nonstop up and down the street under really harsh conditions. So that was a nice job, and we appreciate it. And I thank the fire department for all of their hard work, and thanks to the first aid squad for also manning the station for the better part of 24 hours, and thanks to the police department who also was here for the duration. So, and of course, the OEM. Kevin Keeshan, who's not here tonight, he's on his way to Florida at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning on a well-deserved trip away from all of the snow. So for all of those who helped us out, including the borough employees, that was definitely all hands on deck event, and we appreciate that. Do you have anything to say there, Commissioner Balch, in regards to it?
I will echo what Commissioner Stickle and Mayor Summers have already reiterated. Just a great thank you to everybody across the board, as you already mentioned. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Richard, do you have a comment on the snow removal?
Yes, I do. I want to commend Joe for using the smaller truck with the rotatable plow instead of the large, heavy-duty trucks that he's used in the past. I found that the removal of the snow, I can only speak for my block, but the removal of the snow took half the time that it usually does because he was able to, the driver, who should be commended, was able to maneuver around much more quickly with the smaller piece of equipment. And I love that it was on my block. I hope it's being used on some other blocks after it's used on mine.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to say one more thing on our discussion items, and I'll ask the 2 gentlemen next to me if they have anything. I know we've had every month mention the Wells Fargo property. I wish I had an update for you in real time. I do not. I have been back and forth with the representative who is working on this for us. She is working on something, and I hope to hear something in the next couple of days. And we'll get back to you with any information when it comes out. You know, hopefully there'll be good news. But we are still working on acquiring that property. Dave, do you have anything?
One thing, I went to my first Two Rivers Water Reclamation Authority board meeting last Tuesday. Interesting meeting, wonderful meeting room they have, and they serve food beforehand. Just a hint, for an incentive. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, see? Very interesting meeting, trying to learn what's going on and follow. There were 7 of us there in person, 3 or 4 of them, I think, virtually. They have the ability to do it virtually, which is nice for some of them. The tunnel is progressing. They're going to pour some tunnel walls, shaft walls, I should say, over in Oceanport shortly. And then they'll hopefully get the new machine in there and start working from Oceanport back to make the connection where they left off from the Monmouth Beach side. And one of the most interesting things I got out of it is there has been a request by Colts Neck to get tied into our system, not the whole town, just part of it. That would have to run through Tinton Falls first to here, and I guess they've asked before, but now they're getting a lot more serious about it. And nobody has made any decisions down there on any of this. We haven't been formally requested at the authority yet to take a position on it, but we're aware of what's going on, and it has to do with all the development over there, and especially the low-income housing development that they want to put in over there. That, not those, closer to Tinton Falls line off of 537 in that area and 34 in that area there. So those are all on some sort of pre-treatment septic, some funky thing that got approved somehow. But it's interesting that Tinton Falls seems to be in favor of it because they think they're going to make money on the flow that comes in through their pipe, passing through their pipe. Except the flow comes to the sewer authority here, so somebody's getting billed for it. So we might end up billing Tinton Falls from Two Rivers, which would kind of be a wash for them. I don't know what they're thinking, but.
How does that affect their, I mean, I don't, maybe you know or don't know this, but how does that affect their capacity down there? How are they with capacity?
I don't know their exact capacity, but apparently they have excess capacity at this point in time, even with Fort Monmouth coming online. So, didn't get into a lot of detail. I'm still trying to learn everything that's going on down there. So.
I know you and I spoke last week. There was an issue. Some people had complained about smell through town. You want to tell people what that was?
So the odor came out of their new, I'll call it aeration system. They used to have wood chips in the back, a big deep hole full of wood chips, and that was supposed to take care of the aeration with the bacteria in there. They removed that in order to put their shaft in for their new pump station, and they put in this other, I'll call it a device, but it's probably as big as this room, in a building that has stone, certain kind of stone and rock in it that the bacteria is supposed to live on, except that that building is not heated. So the odor came when the temperature was 10 degrees outside because all the bacteria died, because the building was 10 degrees. So when that happens, the bacteria, I guess, either comes back to life or somehow they refeed it and start it over, but it takes a few days. That's when we had all the odors from that new system. Now, that system hasn't worked right properly from day one when it was put in down there. Everybody's aware of it. They spent, I think they said $3 million putting this thing in, and they're all aware it doesn't work right. They're not sure what to do about it. They've replaced the medium, I should say, right, Julie, medium for this, inside that more than once. So.
Are they taking the person who sold that to them to task?
They're working with that company, yes. No lawsuit's been filed yet, but they're working with that company. You know, so, and you know, I said, well, why don't we heat the building a little bit? And they said, well, there are some vents that pump into that side from the other side. I said, well, they're not pumping enough, so I don't know what they're going to do, but.
Do they spray the rock? Is that part of it too?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't seen it. They asked me if I wanted a tour. I said later. Not right away.
Wait till it smells a little better.
Wait till it smells worse, and then I'll work. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the residents down that end of town are the ones that bear the brunt of it, depending on which way the wind's blowing. So.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think this is good that we have Dave down there. We can get some firsthand information, and when we see something that we need to put out to the town, we'll be able to put it right out and keep people on top of stuff. So, thank you.
They are also going to start going under Meadow Ave very shortly. They're going to try to tunnel their way under that so they don't rip the whole thing up. Yeah. So Commissioner Dave told Director Dennis Galvin down there that, well, I don't care whether you rip it up or not, you're gonna be paving a street. And he kinda gave me a funny look, and he said, how many hats are you wearing? I said, whichever one I need to wear at the time. So,
Yeah, we've been on them on that, so
yeah.
they're
so
aware.
We're still pushing the issue.
We'll go as far as we can.
Okay. Keep you updated after the next meeting in March. They meet once a month on the third Tuesday. Third Tuesday? Second Tuesday? Third Tuesday. Third Tuesday. Third Tuesday once a month, yeah. I haven't seen any bacon yet, Anthony. Do you want to come as a guest? It is a public meeting. I don't think you get hors d'oeuvres, though, with the public meeting.
Come in today, right, they went over to see the PD from Sands Point South, that their walkways don't go all the way around their building. So they had a couple of people get hurt on the area that doesn't have a walkway. I guess it's the south side where there used to be a boardwalk there. When the boardwalk came out in Sandy, they didn't really...
There's a bulkhead there now, and that's it.
Yeah, but they didn't put a walkway. So, one of the residents there, who's a frequent flyer with us, asked if, because it was a health and safety issue, why didn't we make them do that? I said, that's a you thing. That's an association thing. And I said, by the way, the fire company and the first aid squad are private entities within the borough. True. And then they went over to the PD. So I don't know whether you dealt with them or somebody else dealt with them, Chief. But and did he tell them the same thing I told him? Just making you aware of it, because they're going to come back again. Same group that blamed their issue with rodents on us, rather than the fact that their dumpster had holes in it. And so.
Right, well, they're a private entity as a
That's what I told
condominium association, and they're responsible for their property.
Yeah.
We didn't build that, they built it, so it's privately owned.
That's what I told him. I
They
said
would have
that
to raise the funds within their,
He didn't really
condominiums.
want to hear that.
What did the fire and police being separate entities in the borough have to do with the questioning?
Very simple. He wanted us to say that it was a health and safety issue, that fire and first aid couldn't get there, and you have to do it. So,
I have just a quick update. The 250 committee, the Historical Society, has put together a committee for the semi-quincentennial. They've been meeting frequently. They'll be meeting again Monday, but on March the 5th at 5 o'clock at Boyle's Tavern between 5 and 7. They're having a kickoff, kind of a meet and greet down there. All of the committees that have been assigned for the various things that are taking place over the 4 days, and they're looking for help and people to make donations if they choose. So if you have time on the 5th of March between 5 and 7, stop up at Boyle's, and Dave Stickles' wife and Dickie Keller are in charge of the committee, and they've really got a lot going on. So expect a lot of news in the coming few weeks. June 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. 4 days of celebration. So it's coming. There'll be a lot going on. Larry, do you have anything? All right.
I'm going to jump back because we have a rendering on the screen
Fantastic.
of
I
Shoreland.
thought that was up
Shoreland's
there at
Park.
the sewer plant. That was the where they're putting the stuff. That's the medium.
That's the medium, yes. That's the odor control facility.
That's what we're doing down at the playground.
That is a rendering that we have put together, and Julie, I'll let you expand upon it from here.
Just a rendering of the proposed playground equipment. This is for Shoreland's Priscilla Brower Park, and like that caterpillar-looking thing in the front and the isolated pieces, as well as the main piece, are all the 2 to 5 age group, and they're all inclusive.
Nice. Beautiful.
my own different designation.
It does, but it's always had the small kids stuff down there because the other park didn't provide that. So there's always been at least two, in my recollection, down there. There's been swings and slides down there, yes?
Yeah, there's always been 2 swing sets down there, and
So
though-
even when that was designated that,
there's a very gray area when you say passive park.
Well,
As long as you're not playing a ball sport down there, that would mean basketball, softball, baseball, soccer, football, bocce, it's a ball
Curling.
sport. Curling, all right, well, that's a stone sport.
well, that's ice box.
Anyway, this still qualifies, we're fine doing this, and it opens up the opportunity for us to serve our residents who need this type of facility that we don't have at Griffin Park. When we did Griffin Park back in 2019, 18 or 19, Courtney was here, she left, but it was never designed for children with special needs or this tactile feel type thing for the real little kids. So this is going to be a park designed for, as Julie said, the 5 and unders, really. And I don't think you're going to find a lot of older kids down there trying to climb into those very small swing baskets or buckets or seats, I don't know what they're called, but trying to get in there and go crazy on the swing set down there. So this will be nice. It'll still be in the same area the old swings were. It'll be in that would be the southwest corner of the park. And there'll be a shade structure also, which I don't think, is there?
No, because it's a different
Okay,
vendor.
yeah, so,
This will be along the Monmouth Parkway side.
yeah, yep, and all these structures are under state contract, so we don't have to go out to bid. We can just select the vendor off a state contract, which we've already done, and that makes it a lot easier for us, and they do the installation work and everything. So the colored surfaces, the blue and green you see, are kind of in keeping with the town colors. As best we could, we wanted to separate the swing set area from the playground area, and in between is that tactile thing. There's a chance we're flipping that around and moving the tactile where the playground is and the playground closer to the swing set. But there'll still be different colors on the surface area, and it's that rubber surface like we have.
A solid form rubber surface? Or
It is just the same surface,
It's like Griffin Park.
just like Griffin Park, so it won't float
Board
away.
rubber.
It'll stay there when we have a flood.
Because I didn't want Larry's front yard to look like that after the first flood.
It could go on, that's fine.
Larry wouldn't mind a little green in his front yard, I don't think, at this point, so.
I'll bring it back. Is that?
it looks good.
So that's like it's gonna be the padded, the whole thing like on Griffin? Very nice, yeah.
Could I ask, I think Anthony was alluding to it earlier, but what I remember, there used to be a backstop years and years ago. Yeah.
I played ball there. That's where we played Cap League, on that field.
Yeah, it was here when I moved in.
Yeah.
But was the swing set and the play area there the last 30 years, or was it put in within 2001, right? So, to your point, it wasn't always there. Did we have to get permission to put it there, and this now is grandfathered in? Like, how did we?
No, we applied to Monmouth County Park System, and we told them what we wanted to do, and they were fine with it.
We didn't have to do anything?
No special applications or anything different, and having it accessible and all-inclusive like this allows us to get more grant money to add more pieces that would be in that green area. The original rendering had 8 or 10 of them in there, so we can apply for more grants. Those grants are $50,000, $75,000 at a shot, and those things aren't cheap. I mean, Julie, you remember what that Caterpillar, the orange Caterpillar is? It's like $30,000, something like that. So, if we'll just keep applying for those grants. And Jake's Law was one of the things that used to be able to supply this. However,
So
Go ahead, Julie.
Jake's Law was a type of Green Acres grant that was a 75-25 match, 75, grant for a fully inclusive playground. So that went away, that particular, but Green Acres now has another category where it just doesn't have the name Jake's Law, but you get, you're a premier applicant if it's a fully inclusive design, which is why in working with, Rec and Darren, we kept all of this fully inclusive so that if we were to apply for that type of grant in the future, we'd be adding on and it would still be eligible.
And Julie, as Julie just mentioned, the Monmouth Beach Recreation Committee has been instrumental in coming up with this design and helping develop where we're at right now. Darren Weinstein and Colleen Campbell have been extremely active and involved in this. So it'll be a nice showpiece for the town of Monmouth Beach and something the Recreation Committee can be proud of. So.
Yeah.
You good, Larry?
Might. Of course, it's going to raise your assessed valuation. Larry, you're right across the street from me. It's a treasure. Thank you, Dave. That's fantastic. Thank you, Julie. Can I get a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved. Yes.
Yes. Does anybody from the public have any questions or comments to make?
I came because I thought it was JE's award night. That's why Courtney was here. And then she left when we figured it. She wasn't here.
That's my fault.
With Mark?
I spoke with her 2 days ago, and we talked back and forth about the weather, and she said, if you don't mind. And I said, okay. And then with everything going on, I forgot to email you that information.
I think we had moved it from January, but I didn't.
Yeah. She was afraid to get out with possible black ice and stuff on the ground. So
anyway,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
fine.
Or gas.
Anyway, thanks. I'll let everybody.
So yes, it'll be at the March 25th meeting.
Okay. On that note, goodbye, everybody.
All right. Seeing no comments, can I get a motion to close the floor, please?
So moved. Yes.
Yes, and can I get a motion to
So
adjourn?
moved. Yes.
Thank you very much.